I'm Ryan from ExtremeTerrain.com, and in this episode of Jeep News, we're going to be talking all about the Gladiator. Of course, at Easter Jeep Safari 2019, with the Gladiator being the new biggest thing in Jeep, they brought 6 concept Gladiators, all of them a little bit different and all of them really cool. So we're going to be talking about each of those. We're also going to be talking a little bit about the pricing of the Gladiator that has recently come out, and a special launch edition Gladiator that is actually already available for pre-sale, and what that vehicle is all about. Then we're going to get into everybody's favorite part of Jeep News, the giveaway, so make sure you hang out for that. So the first of these 6 concept Gladiators I want to talk about is the Jeep Gladiator Gravity. And this one is a fairly minor build compared to some of the other ones. 2-inch lift, 35-inch tires. It's really all about getting out there and having fun with your Jeep. In this case, really about rock climbing if you take a look at some of these stickers that are put on the Jeep. So the bed area has a nice big carrier. You can put a ton of gear in, a couple of slide out bins in the bed as well. It has that lift, it has the bigger tires, some tube doors on it as well as the mesh top. So it is a fairly tame build compared to some of the other ones, but a very cool looking Gladiator nonetheless. The next concept I want to talk about is the JT Scrambler. The Scrambler, of course, is what we thought the Gladiator might actually be called when we first started seeing some leaked images of it, but it isn't. It's called the Gladiator, but the Scrambler version of it that Jeep brought out to EJS is a throwback look. So it's a white Jeep, it has a little bit of pumpkin and nacho striping on it. It has a little bit of auxiliary lighting, some 37-inch tires, and something I think is really cool about this one is it has sort of a headache rack that is built in all one piece with some bed rails that has some lighting up on top. So definitely a throwback look, definitely an old school look to a new school Gladiator. This thing just looks really cool. In contrast to a couple of the tamer builds we just talked about, Jeep also brought the concept Gladiator M715. The M715 is a military version of the old Kaiser Willys Jeep, and this has all of those looks, but is a Gladiator underneath the skin. This thing has a ton of carbon fiber. All of the lights on the outside are LED. The bed is aluminum. So while it has that old school look, it has a lot of that new school technology to match what's underneath, and that is that Gladiator frame. This thing has been upgraded though. It has the Dynatrac ProRock 6080 combination underneath of it. The axles aren't the only thing that has been upgraded on this Jeep. Instead of the factory 3.6 liter under the hood, this has a huge 6.2 liter supercharged Hellcat engine making 700 horsepower. This thing doesn't look too much like a Gladiator at this point with all of the body panels changed, but it is still a really cool concept that Jeep brought to EJS. The next concept I want to talk about is the Gladiator J6, and this is a 2-door version of the Gladiator, which I know is something a lot of you guys were really interested in seeing and would still really like to see Jeep make a reality, but this is only a concept, at least for now. So this is a 2-door version of the Gladiator. The bed is a full 12 inches longer because of course the cab is a little bit shorter, but other than that, it keeps all of the Gladiator styling. So if we do see a 2-door Gladiator down the line, I wouldn't be surprised if it looked very, very similar to this, of course. This one does have a Mopar lift on it, 2-inch lift. It's running 37-inch tires, and it has a couple of other options in it as well, like a body color spray-in bed liner, which I think is a pretty cool option. But again, this is a little bit more of a tame build compared to some of the others. Jeep also brought the Jeep Gladiator Way Out, which is their overland concept for what the Gladiator could be. So this is a pretty traditional Gladiator frame. Of course, does have a lift, does have 37s, but it has everything that you would need to do some overlanding in the Gladiator. It has a raised area over the bed with a rooftop tent that holds 2 people. It also has a canopy that comes out of the side of that raised area. You're going to have some auxiliary amber lighting out the side of the Jeep, of course, onboard air system, really all the comforts of home built right into the Jeep. This thing looks really, really cool and is super functional if you like that overland style of wheeling. And then you have my favorite concept that Jeep brought to EJS this year, and that is the Gladiator Flatbill. This thing is absolutely awesome looking. Some visual modifications were done. It has a little bit of carbon fiber in the hood. Of course, it is running a 4-inch lift with ProRock 60s front and rear, so big axles, which you might need if you're turning a 40-inch tire, which is what's underneath this Jeep. The thing is built to haul some dirt bikes out into the desert and have an absolute blast, almost like the orange Gladiator that we had seen at the reveal of the Gladiator back in LA. This thing is just really cool looking, super functional, big tires, an awesome Jeep. This is one that I would love to see somebody build something close to and take out in the desert. So a ton of cool concepts out there at EJS this year, as usual from Jeep. Some of them a little bit more out there, some of them a little bit closer to what somebody could build at home. Let me know below in the comments which concept you think is the coolest, which one you're gonna take some cues from for your Gladiator build once they're available. So if you are looking to build a Gladiator for yourself, we have some new pricing as Jeep has been updating the website. You're gonna be able to pick yourself up a Sport for right around $33,500. The Sport S jumps up to right around $37,000. The Overland Edition bumps up into the 40s at just shy of $41,000, and a base Rubicon is going to run you right around $44,000. Of course, there are going to be a ton of options that you can add on to these base vehicles that's going to drive the price up significantly. For instance, if you want an automatic transmission, that's $2,000 right there. There are a bunch of safety features, a bunch of different things that you can add on to these. In fact, a fully loaded Rubicon is gonna run you close to $60,000. So that is going to be a ton of options, but you're going to get a very capable and also very comfortable Gladiator for that price, something you can take off-road, take on-road, and it's really gonna do anything you ask it to. But for $60,000, it better. That is a lot of money for a Jeep. In fact, you can go a little bit above that and get the special launch edition Gladiator for right around $61,000 that is already available for pre-sale. This has a couple of additional options. It's basically a fully loaded Rubicon, a few additional options, a little bit of badging, a couple things that make it a little bit special, and it's a pretty cool looking Jeep as well. Maybe a color scheme that you might not be able to get in any of the other Gladiators. So if you're looking to get one of the very first Gladiators available, if you already want to pre-order and you have $61,000, you can go ahead and pre-order that launch edition Gladiator. So as you can see, there is a ton of new Gladiator news, especially around those 6 concepts out at EJS. We were out there last year, got to see some concepts in person. I wish I was there to see the Gladiators this year. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to deal with just drooling over the pictures like most of you this time. Now we're gonna get into everybody's favorite part of Jeep news. We're gonna do a giveaway. This time we're gonna give away a $150 gift card to ExtremeTerrain. All you need to do in order to enter to win is subscribe to the YouTube channel and comment below. Of course, tons of stuff to comment on. Let me know which concept is your favorite. Let me know what you think about that Jeep pricing, and if you're one of those people that went ahead and pre-ordered your launch edition Gladiator. Subscribing and commenting will get you into the running to win that $150 gift card.